Cybernation Uncensored.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Eddies and Elflines. This is a Cyberpunk Red game that will also be including the Eddies and Elflines DLC. I am your GM, Diamond Dust, and welcome to Session 0, where we will be kind of discussing the premise of this. But before we get into all that, I'm going to go ahead and go around the table and have my party introduce themselves to you guys and like where you can find us. Like for me, you can find me here on Twitch every day at diamond_dust_320 or at 320dust on Twitter. We'll go ahead and kind of work our way around the box here. Jack, you want to start?
I am... no, I'm not going to do that joke. Hi, I'm Daiquiri Jack. Once upon a time, I did do some stuff on YouTube, but I had one joke that my wife laughed at, so I considered that a success. You can find me, if you really want to find me, on Twitter at GeekGumbo1. I have no current projects other than I am involved in a live-action role-playing game called A Fistful of Carbon that's coming up. They are doing their final playtest in mid-March. So if you like, think Firefly, that whole space science fiction kind of stuff, then you might want to come and check it out and find it at bit.ly/A Fistful of Carbon. So if you're on the East Coast, come check us out.
All right, Sean, would you mind introducing yourself?
I'm Sean. You can find me on Reddit sometimes. I'm kind of hard to find online, but I'm here to play some Cyberpunk and enjoy my time as a player character for once.
Oh yeah, I'm also a Redditor. I'm over on the Cyberpunk Reddit a lot.
I wander through there a bit.
Sasha.
Hi, I'm Sasha. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/NekoKittySasha, and on Twitter, at NekoKittySasha. I don't have much of a schedule, unfortunately, but I do Valheim with Diamond and a few others on Tuesday night. So.
All right, Nick.
Yeah, hi. I'm Nick. I'm a Cyberpunk gamer today, and I've been really getting into some tabletop or RPGs lately and stuff like that. So I'm excited to try this. I love the meta idea of playing Elflines Online and kind of seeing how that's going to apply to the meat space cyberpunk world. And yeah, I can't wait to get started.
All right, and then next we have Kiwi.
I'm Kiwi Waste. You can find me here and on Twitch in the chat and on Discord as Kiwi Waste, and I'm on Twitter as Waste Kiwi. And you can also see me every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Also on Cybernation with the High Riders campaign, and that's all for me.
And finally, we got Jim.
Hello, my name is Jim, and I'm very happy to be here. Hi, you can find me on Twitter at Sierra92507. Previously, I was doing a show called One Shot Action Theater on Time to Tabletop. And Time to Tabletop also supports a really awesome program called Pull Up a Chair. And what they do is they help spread the love of tabletop gaming and problem solving and all those sorts of other good skills you learn from games like this, and present it to kids, teenagers, whatever else. So yeah, go check them out. Go ahead and check out some of the other work Time Tabletop did. They're great and awesome people up here in my local area. And yeah, I can't wait to play a character I've always wanted to play in a Cyberpunk game, and let's just hope he survives the audition.
Also, going to just do a quick adjustment of mics here, just to make sure everybody well set for.
Yeah.
Okay, so I suppose as a premise for those of you who might be new to Cyberpunk Red, Cyberpunk Red is where it falls in the timeline. Oh, we lost Nick for a second. Cyberpunk Red is a tabletop game that came out in it was 2020, like just before 2077 dropped, if I'm correct, right?
Yep.
Right around that time frame, yeah.
And I think they had a version right before that, right?
Yeah, I think the Jumpstart kit came out in 2019.
Yeah, yeah, the Jumpstart kit came out, summer 2019.
Yeah.
By the end of summer.
I got introduced to it back in 2020, I think, with Sasha at some point. But, so Cyberpunk Red takes place in the year 2045. And the primary setting is Night City, just during the rebuilding after the Fourth Corporate War. As the story goes, the bomb dropped on August 20th, 2023, which, hey, that's this year. Yeah, how about that? And it's still up to speculation. Who dropped the bomb? Who's at fault for the war? Who's this? Who's that when it comes to the grand destruction of Night City? The tale has been told many, many times. However, with all that aside, who cares about history when right now your current world is an absolute dumpster? Where, where your car is more likely to be broken into during the middle of the day than in most parts of town. And also, the stuff you eat, dog food, might just be a little bit better some days. However, for some people, video games are a form of escape. And I think we can relate to that IRL.
I think we all can, yeah.
So, chat, how many of you guys play, I don't know, MMO RPGs, like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14, I'm trying to think, I guess PSO2, like all sorts of MMOs, like where you connect with a bunch of players, go off, run dungeons, run raids, go on big grand adventures, right?
Oh yeah, constantly.
Yep. So we're gonna look at a bit of a smaller corp, one that doesn't get talked about a lot, but I kind of like. It's Segatari. Segatari, it is when the company Sega and Atari, when the collapse was coming, decided to come together and form one giant corp. Now, I don't know what happened to, all the other companies in the process. I'm still digging around in the lore to see what happened here, because this is kind of interesting that these guys survived in this timeline compared to the unfortunate ending they've had over here, where you don't see the Sega Genesis anymore, or the Atari, except for the occasional Atari flashback release. How about them apples? I suppose, as a disclaimer, everything here at the table is a work of fiction. if there just so happens to be like I drop a name of someone that you happen to know, it's all a coincidence. I'm definitely not going to be making fun of some great game companies who are trying to put some battle passes in games that really shouldn't have a battle pass. I don't know. I know nothing about that. Anyway.
Yeah, it's sort of like Wizards of the Coast.
Who? Oh, you mean? No. I think you mean Sorcerers on the Bay, my friend.
Oh, magicians on the water. Sorry. We can add anything we want with the canon. It's fine.
Lake magicians, dude.
The great Segatari CEO, Odd Towered.
So, Segatari, during the, over time had released this series called Elflines. Elflines, think it in the sense of like how Final Fantasy has like all of its different games. Elflines is about the same way, where it has all these different games. But then they released Elflines Online, which is the #1 MMO on the Night City air gap. Which air gaps are like city nets, and if you don't know too much about city nets, they have to do with Ziggurat, which, by the way, if you want to know more about Ziggurat and their wonderful owner, you should go check out the Monday game with Stink Palm 007. Shameless advertising, TM.
Yeah, good game.
I've watched some of that game.
Yeah.
Or just consult your local library.
Yeah. And when it comes to Segatari and Elflines Online, people have found an escapism from the absolutely terrible world of Night City from the comfort of their own cargo container. You slap on your VR headset, you put the game in the socket, and then off you go. Of course, you gotta pay your 20 Eddy subscription a month. Make sure you pay your rent so you got somewhere to play safely, so people don't yoink your VR headset. I may use some terms. If you do not understand what those terms are, they are in the front of the Cyberpunk Red core rulebook. Which, speaking of which, I left mine over on the shelf over there. I'll have to grab that in a bit.
It's okay. I have mine right here.
There are a lot of different terms that might get brought up. And also, for anybody who might, I'm going to throw it out here. I am not a family-friendly streamer. We will not get like too terribly dark into things, but viewer discretion is advised, as this is the dark future. It is dystopia. So,
yeah,
we're going to go ahead, and I suppose it is important to know that when it comes to any MMO, you have people from all sorts of different walks of life. And I kind of want to go around the table again here. We're going to start at Nick and work our way back around to Jack and introduce the characters. So Nick, would you like to introduce your character?
Yeah. I'm going to be playing Ezra Rockwell. He's the son of a corpo who he was unfortunately disabled, and during the Fourth Corpo War, his house was home invaded, his mother was killed, and he was shot in the stomach, disabling him from the waist down. Since then, he has kind of grown very interested in net architecture and playing ELO, because he can fly through the net architecture and he can fight in ELO. So he's going to kind of play a tank in ELO with a double-handed great axe, and he's going to be pretty speedy getting through those net architectures because he's got all the skills for that, but he's very limited in terms of his movement. But he'll be using one of those Rockland augmented chairs. So yeah, taking advantage of some of that DLC. And I'm really excited to play this character. I just think it's kind of cool to have some limitations, and but also be very skilled.
I suppose just because we're also working out bugs during session 0. Nick, could you possibly refresh your video page?
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
absolutely.
there we go.
To,
But I noticed you lost frames, and I just want to remedy that situation.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, and if you could just send me a fresh link, I will get you plugged back in. Kiwi.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
okay.
Smoothed out, Nick. Lovely. Fixed. All right, go on, Kiwi.
So my character, her name is Trinity Silver. She is the daughter of like kind of a gang family and has grown up with them, her entire life. But they don't think very highly of her. They kind of look down on her. So she just kind of works as a bodyguard for them, even though they're literally her family. They still make her do bodyguard work. So she likes, after she's done with her work for the day, she likes to go in and play Elflines in order to feel more confident about herself, because she doesn't really get that from home, but she can get that online and meet people who she can relate to better than her family. And the character she's going to play like online, I kind of is playing a bit more of a roguish character online. Instead of like fighting, she wants to use going to use a lot of stealth for her elf character.
All right, Jim. Let's hear about your character.
Tonight, or today, what time this ever plays, I will be playing Juan Tequila Wen. Tequila, as he's called, grew up as the kid of a couple of Edgerunners living in between the floors of a mega building. His room was pretty much 2 concrete walls, some pipes, and some blankets, just that way he had something that resembled a room. His parents said they would go out and go do jobs, and they would leave him at the house, and he would basically sit and watch bootleg BDs of like old Hong Kong action movies and telenovelas, whatever else. Eventually, the Fourth Corporate War happened. His parents got betrayed by their own group because they sold out to Arasaka. He lost them there. He went to go work for his aunt out of Jig Jig Street, selling bootleg BDs and whatever else. He got picked up by the cops because his aunt got murdered in a tiger claw dispute. So he joined the NCPD, made detective, and he had a girlfriend that was a media, and she ended up getting in too deep over a story about cybernetics being stolen from a warehouse, and the Maelstrom guys that were responsible pretty much picked her up, or took all of her parts and left her to die in Watson. So once Tequila found out and figured out who it was, he ended up slaughtering the entire Maelstrom gang. The only problem was it got caught on television, so NCPD moved him to the cold case division, all the detective hubs. So basically he's scanning evidence and trying to figure out loose ends on cases. And in the meantime, he's learned that there's some confidential informants out there that won't talk in the open, in public. So he has to go on Elflines to communicate with them. And he doesn't know how to play Elflines, so expect a lot of yelling and saying, how do I do this, or how do I do that? Because he's a complete and total noob.
How do I pause the game?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yes, that joke
Fun
is
part,
in fact
you don't-
made in the DLC.
How do I use my power? Alt F4. Ah, damn it!
Oh no!
Good thing this isn't on a keyboard.
Yeah.
Who brought all this black ice?
All right. Like some of your guys' camera feeds are smooth, and some of you guys are choppy. I'm not sure what's going on. If there's like a difference in FPS between feeds, but we'll. Okay, it looks like it's smoothed out a little bit. Sasha, let's go ahead here on your character.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be playing Veronica Sanchez, better known by her online handle, Gamer Girl. She is a rocker boy, and her medium is streaming. So she streams her adventures around Night City. And recently, her chat wanted her to get into Elflines. So she is working towards getting the startup capital for that. She is the daughter of a semi stable Edgerunner mother and a 2020s Valentino, who were basically Lotharios, going after any attractive woman they saw. She grew up in a decaying old upscale neighborhood, and her mother ended up dying on a job, leaving her with a bit of debt to cover. She has had one tragic love affair with a fellow streamer called Fidget, and they unfortunately died live on stream.
Oh.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button in memoriam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
Well,
Yeah,
this is one like equals one prayer.
Yeah, this is sad. Can I get a follow?
As the body lottery grows higher, yeah.
The only thing she has left of her father is a Christian cross gold necklace that he left with her mother.
All right.
She is playing a she's going to be playing a ranger archetype elf in Elflines. So ranged, a bit of sneaky,
Bowmaster.
this kind of stuff. Yes.
Okay. All right. John, let's hear about your character.
Bobby Barron. His friends call him Bedlam. He's a nomad from a small family. For the most part, they try to do some good, but Bobby's rebellious. He might be a little, rough around the edges every once in a while, But just like his family, who travels for the most part, as a traveling school. He feels like they could do a little more for the community, so he's not afraid to knock some heads. The only thing that matters to him is his lover, Valerie Keene, and he'll do anything for her. And he's looking for a way to make some money to help her move up out of this cargo container lifestyle, because my housing container only houses one in my car. So, if ELO is the way to make that money, then so be it. I just got to make that money.
Get them eddies.
Right?
Make that Eddie.
Finally,
Eddies.
Jack, what do you got for us with your character?
So I'm playing Alan Traherne, otherwise known as Sparks. He is a tech. He is the son of corporate technicians that got sent out into the combat zone to maintain some corporate system that they had out there. And they ended up actually getting killed because of a run that had gone bad nearby, ended up blowing out about 6 blocks.
Ooh.
So that's always fun.
Ooh.
But he's got his own little shop out in the combat zone. He's made some friends with some of the local gangers. He's known as the guy that you go to for aftermarket modifications. All those customizations, yeah. Part of why he enjoys ELO, other than, of course, the fun of just getting away from it all and actually seeing something nice other than blown out buildings, is that he does do some of his additional trading through the game. Now, he had a couple of characters before, but money got tight, and not only could he not pay for the res sickness, but he kind of needed it for rent too. So he's had to sell off all the characters that he had, and now he's having to start over fresh, just to be able to get back in there. And hearing that there's something coming that might be of interest to him in the game, so he's going to be working on that. He's going to be playing a sword and board tank kind of character named Sorshana.
What a
Great name.
fantastic segue into what my campaign is going to be about specifically. All right, so we have talked a little bit about the characters and they themselves. It appears we have a furry friend there behind Bedlam. So
Eats what mine's doing. She's a
Segatari. They're probably not the worst corporation out there. I mean, yeah, they were hyping up the entire fan base just to end up giving them a trading card game that everyone just kind of got all mad about, except for the normies. Which, I guess for those of you guys who might not be aware of what normie is, it's basically people that might be considered outside certain fan groups. I tend to be a bit of one myself. I get called that one a few times, but Segatari has released a trading card game that a lot of fans didn't like, but they dropped some awesome merch too in one of their DLCs. There are a lot of like major factions inside the Night City air gap. However, down to that, you also have your groups, also known as Elflines. And Elflines, they start off as like these large factions, but they slowly break down into your little like raiding parties that you're going to be going with. And these guys, well, they not only are they a crew of Edgerunners, they're also going to be, well, getting together for raid night. And speaking of raid night, they're hyping up this really big bad dungeon that's going to be coming out. And first group to complete it, well, let's just say you don't have to worry about rent for a few months in their brand new apartment complex that they're sponsoring. A nice studio apartment to play Elflines in. I guess what 6 months later shows up, just hopefully you got the money for next month's rent. You haven't just been spending it all on, sacred herbs and revive sickness.
Heroes and Code Red.
Avoid them debuffs.
All right. And for anybody who might be wanting to keep up with the game, and I would also highly recommend that my players have these PDFs, the PDFs on hand. Over on R.Talsorian Games, they have an entire section dedicated to Elflines Online. Now, players, I would only recommend you guys get the first 2 books that cover like the game itself and some other like in-world lore. If you want to know like some things like that, do not touch Derek's guide. I will be using Derek's guide as kind of a bit of a form of guidance to help me learn how the adventure runs through the Elflands, but it also helps me. It also gives me the stats for the monsters. Now, over time, I will feed you guys this information because, as any good nerd does, you have an entire book dedicated to all the different stats of all the different monsters. I have a friend who did that. They recorded everything they had found in a dungeon. So every time they went on raids, It was just like, all right, on page 3, it says in this room there's going to be this many things in this room. Like, peepers.
I knew someone like that as well.
Yeah, super sweaty. Super sweaty. It was a very, like, you'd get 6 guys and their PCs all packed in one dorm room playing, I don't know whatever World of Warcraft, like, Major Dungeon it was. Like, something about a Lich King. Super rude.
It's pretty underground. I don't think anybody's ever heard of that.
I heard he was kind of angry.
Also, I
got nothing.
I will throw it out here. I have no experience with MMOs. That's why I'm I feel I am suited best for this, because I am pretty sure I could make this abusing with my lack of knowledge in MMOs. But I will also be learning MMOs. And on top of that, these guys will be running jobs in meat space. In other words, the real world. So that way they can continue paying their rent, their kibble, and their subscription to Elflines Online. And also if they want to get any other nice in-game purchases.
I still need to buy the headset in the game itself. So
Yes, that's what your first job's going to be. Getting that headset. And the copy of the game.
That's what I need. I mean, it's the first thing I'm going to have to do is get one of them.
All right.
And some more Smash.
You're one of those people that drinks while you're playing. All right,
It's
guys.
the poor man's cyberware.
Also, if you, I guess in reference to Nick's character, if you guys want to know more about the cyber chair, R.Talsorian released it also as a PDF. I don't remember like which one it was, like what month's edition it was, but I do think that's really cool that the cyber chair is coming into play. I know there are special rules for it. I will read up on it because I know our party's tech over in one of the other games I'm in has a spider chair that they're going to modify into something crazy, but oh well.
Well, I'm not going to be using the spider chair. I'm going to be using the more basic Curious Cyber chair.
Okay.
It's a basic model. It's only 100 eddies, and basically it makes your... I wanted to ask you about this.
What's up?
Because it makes your move 5. Effectively, it makes your move 5. But should I be setting my character's move as 5 and then adjusting the stats accordingly? Or can I set my character's move as the minimum of 2 and then the chair bumps it up to 5?
Second option.
Yeah, I think.
I think the second option would be fair.
Okay.
Look. I will also consult with the other GMs, and I don't know. Maybe I go talk to the great vast of pool that is Reddit. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it was just. I mean,
I think that would be
can
fair
redo
for you
that.
to be able to move those attribute points to other spots since your chair will cover that.
yeah.
So,
It's not just if your chair gets shot out. Well, we got to know how fast you're going otherwise.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean,
I
I
assume
normally
we probably, yeah.
of 2 is kind of the minimum move
assume
it'll.
not that far if they need to use a chair.
Yeah.
well, I mean, with a move of 2, if like, is it that your legs it's hard for you to walk, or can you not walk?
I cannot walk. Like I'm physically disabled.
So your move 2
noise
would be
down.
crawling then.
Yeah, you've been
Yeah.
like paralyzed.
Yeah, well, I mean, he
From
was
the
shot
waist down.
right? So
All right.
he was shot, stomach, and you know, his father. He lost his mother, and his father since then has been kind of, you know, looking after him at great expense. And of course, he has been, you know, in the corporal world, limited somewhat because he's being forced to look after his son, and then probably look down on that or don't look, you know, favorably on it. So, and if you're not advancing, you're probably falling behind there, I imagine. So, yeah, it's kind of the family's fallen on a lot of hard luck because of this situation.
So the topic of ableism may come up very rarely, but that will be very lightly skimmed. I will throw out here, Cybernation Uncensored is super supportive of all gamers at the table. Well, let's see. What's this? Great thing about the cyber chair, you get bonuses of cyber augmentations you want without the humanity loss. Yep. But I think that's with like the
That's for the more
500 Eddie
expensive
one.
Yeah, 1,000.
Oh, 1,000 Eddie. Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, can't afford that. So he's going for the more, not the spider one that you can put the cyberware options in. You cannot equip cyberware options in the Mercurius cyber chair. So it just allows for basically regular movement of 5 minus any armored penalties, and all the movement options are available. Run, jump, climb, swim, get up, and so forth are available to them.
Okay.
So,
all right. Okay. So another thing I want to cover today, because it is session 0, I want to cover lines and veils. Lines and veils, for those of you who are new, it's like hard boundaries. So lines are hard boundaries. We will never touch these topics. Like this will something that I will never do, and if I ever hit it, I'm gonna feel kind of bad, like really bad. I feel really bad when I do things like that. And then we also have veils, which are topics that can be mentioned, but we will never go into great detail over. So, like for me, my lines are spiders. I do not like spiders. They I am okay with the word spider. Like we're referring to the spider chair. Or, the fact that
Spider
Roy
Murphy.
from my game is that. But I don't like spiders. So, like, at most, recluse at most will be an arachne if you ever encounter recluse. I'm sorry, but the idea of encountering a giant brown recluse in the net does not make me okay. It does not.
No. I'm not even that arachnophobic, and that makes me no.
For me, also SA, which I'm not gonna, basically sexual assault and harming children, that is going to be off the table. I will not. The most children may be mentioned in here is because you guys are playing an MMO. You guys may encounter young people, and I mean if you take them for their gold, you take them for their gold, in game. So
we're allowed to bully the kids.
You're allowed to be bullies if you want to bully people. It's gonna get you a reputation though. You might piss off some Solo's kid. That Solo's gonna come knocking. And he might be getting a Segatari for himself. And then veils. I am okay with the topic of some, triple X stuff going on, but but it'll be very much fade to black. And I also am willing to cover, some, rough topics such as, discrimination and hate crimes, but I'm not going to be okay with, going into great detail over it. And I do highly encourage you guys, the players, not to actively be that way towards people. Because reputation does matter in both the net space and meat space. Because you are living double lives, but people might make the connections. All right, we're gonna go around the table. Jack, what are your lines and veils?
The only line we mentioned this before, the only line that I got is, while I have no problem with most forms of body horror and stuff like that, I would ask that we avoid things involving the eyes, things going into eyes and stuff like that. I can kind of do without that. Otherwise, I'm pretty good.
I would like to ask, in the case of a damaged eye injury comes up, I will just mention a damaged eye, and that's going to be it. Is that acceptable?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. It's getting into any kind of detail about,
Oh yeah.
surgeries or torture or things like that. That's where it starts to get a little.
All right, Sean, what are your lines and veils?
I think you covered it with some of the usuals, essay, things of that nature. Uh, and yeah, like general like racial discrimination, things like that. It doesn't really belong to the table.
Mm-hmm. We're fine with everyone except red chromers. No red chromers here, please.
Yeah. Fuck the red.
It ain't right.
Yeah. Let's just say I don't play with any of the Red Chrome Legion.
Well, I mean, it's fun to play with them. Well, play with their bodies. Sorry, I play a couple of batshit insane characters, but for the good reasons.
I got a Maelstrom ganger in one of my parties, and he's hard to deal with.
I can imagine.
We have a Maelstrom rocker, well, former Maelstrom rocker boy, and he is surprisingly charming. Like, my character's already kind of become a fan. Sasha, what are your lines and veils?
Kind of similar to Jack with the hard gore. Not necessarily specifically eyes for me, but I'm fine with like normal like arms, legs being shot off, whatever. That's fine. But when you start getting into like stitching people to other people, it's like, yeah, no thanks.
You're okay with people getting blown up, but you're not okay with human centipedes. That's
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah.
All right, Jim, what are your lines and veils? Also, I need to readjust your camera. You're like almost out of frame.
I'm sorry. I have a rolling chair, and I just moved a bunch of stuff around in my my bedroom so that way I can present that I look okay. Anyway,
that's okay.
I guess in terms of like lines, a lot of people used a lot of excuses as in terms of their poor behavior and doing something to NPCs and whatnot, like accusing other people of things that they didn't necessarily do. I'm not a big fan of a lot of the essay. I'm okay with violence in terms of, I mean, if it's cartoonish, like limbs getting shot off, okay, fine, but we don't need to go into deep grotesque detail on injuries and whatever else. Yeah, I'm pretty solid with everything else. But if there are points where it starts getting a little on the iffy side, I may just throw my card up. So yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right. Kiwi, what are your lines and veils?
When it comes to lines, I feel like they've pretty much all been said. Like, no, I don't like no sexual assault, hurting kids, all that. Yeah, that's a hard line for me. I think the only veil I can think of that hasn't been talked about. I can be okay if, like, animal getting hurt. It just depends on the animal. That's why I put it as a veil. Like
right there with you.
Yeah, like if it's anything like a cat or dog, that's a no. But if it's something like I don't know, a deer is the example, or where we'd see a deer, but something more like that, I'm like, okay, that's fine.
I mean, we're probably going to see them a lot in ELO.
That's yeah.
Or we've killed like the last
be
unicorn.
hunting them for food.
Yeah.
If we find a unicorn, I'm riding it.
Well,
how?
Oh,
I'll find a way.
Well, that. Speaking of unicorns, I'm gonna keep that one in my back pocket for later.
Yeah.
It's a little project I'm working on. And finally, Nick, what are your lines and veils?
Going last, I mean, everything's kind of, I think, being covered. I'm pretty willing to go pretty crazy. I'm fine with like body horror and stuff like that, but it sounds like we're going to kind of avoid most of that kind of end of things. Yeah, I think everything's been covered so far by other players, or mostly by what you outlined when you first stated what you were not going to cover. So.
Yeah. It may be the dark future, but I do want to make sure you guys are comfortable at my table. And also on top of that, like, you know, I enjoy a good watching of Repo the Genetic Opera. I do.
Oh yeah.
But I will never go too terribly dark. And also, if things get too uncomfortable, just for me, a rule at my table is just yell red light. That will I will stop everything, and we'll go into a quick break. That way we can quick discuss what happened. I want to make sure that you guys have fun at this table. Chat, I want to make sure you guys are comfortable. If something really makes a bunch of you guys uncomfortable, please feel free to reach out to me over on the Discord. I want to make sure that, like, we are going to cover some uncomfortable topics, but I want to make sure that I want to make sure that, you know, I everything's entertaining for everyone. Okay, yeah. On top of that, I will be working out some of the tech issues. I know some of the camera feeds are choppy. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But I will, like, some of you guys are fine, some of you guys not so much, and I'm not sure what exactly is going on, but I will get it worked out one way or another. I think maybe there's just like some stuff running in the background that I need to mute. Let's see. Trying to think, what other important things should we cover? Oh, yes. What part of the city do y'all want to be living in? Like, what parts of the city are we in?
I was going to tell you in my background. I'm sorry. I'm in New Westbrook with my family.
Oh, New Westbrook. Okay. One of the cargo villages then. Or,
yeah.
Okay. Which cubes and containers, if you let me know what part of the city you're in, I will be able to pick out, like, kind of the idea, kind of get an idea of, like, what life is like there. Jack, what part of the city are you in?
So I'm in the combat zone. I got it's part of my life path. I got some of the gangs actually watch out my stuff because my workshop is also going to be in that same general vicinity.
Like, so, combat zone, or Japantown combat zone, or
Japantown actually sounds pretty good.
Okay. Okay. All right. You just I just saw Jim like fade off into to the nothing. Nick, what part of the city are you living in?
I think Ezra lives with his father in kind of the Haywood district, or near kind of the Haywood industrial zone, kind of forced out of the more executive or nicer areas a little bit north of there. So.
Yeah, Haywood for the wealthy, Santo Domingo for the poor. Basically, is that kind of the situation here?
Well, no, I mean, I think like, you know, New Westbrook would, in the executive zone, would probably be like the nicest areas of town in 2045. I think Haywood Industrial Zone would probably be pretty rough. Not rough as the combat zones, but not nice either. So they would probably be down on a cargo container out by the docks or out by the water, scraping by.
All right. Kiwi, what part of the city are you living in?
Not thought about that yet.
That's okay.
I might have to think on that and get back to you because I'm honestly not sure.
That is absolutely okay. Jim, what part of Night City are you thinking that you're in?
I had to go run and go grab this book just to make sure. Because obviously the maps are a little different than what they are in 2045. 20.
The Cubes and Container DLC does a pretty good coverage on that, but That is a 2020 handbook. Nice.
Yeah, that was a gift from my oldest brother for my birthday.
Aww.
Yeah. Um, I would say somewhere close to a police precinct. So that way it's not that big of a commute. I don't think Tequila doesn't
So,
even own a car.
so
Probably because
cargo,
of his stuff.
so cargo village in the combat zone near police precinct 1, then,
Uh,
or
I think if looking at the old map, Police Precinct 1 was pretty close to the Corpo Center.
uh,
So somewhere a little further off, maybe like a smaller one out in Old
okay,
Japantown or Little China, which
okay.
mixes with Tequila's background. Um, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's probably a bunch of cops that live in one little cargo container village, and I don't think they share cargo containers, thankfully, but I think that would be probably a good place. Little China sounds like the most apropos.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Okay, 40, 43.
What's up?
I was just looking at the. Oh, sorry. Thinking out loud a bit. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's all good. But yeah, cubes and containers. It shows like all the different possible living locations there. It's like some of the different villages. Also, Gaster brought up something in here. So in my setting, we have these restaurants called pancake shacks. Those are just localized combat zones. Great food. Don't get me wrong. Great food. But they are localized combat zones. The cops don't go there. If the cops that are there, they aren't going to raise a finger.
That makes sense.
Okay.
You could be in the executive zone, going into a pancake shack, and security will not go there. they will handle it themselves. I still think, you know, the woman that caught the chair, that video, that was
impressive.
that is reflex, that is like reflexes 8 right there. All right. So, I guess on top of that, ooh, okay. What is my next order of business here on my wonderful outline TM that I have set up for this?
I think you only did some of our home locations.
Oh yes.
Who are we missing?
I'm so sorry, Sasha. Where in the city are you at?
She's gonna be in the ironworks in Haywood Industrial.
Okay, so you and Nick are gonna be living really close to each other then. Probably even like in the same cargo park.
Sure.
Oh, that
Sounds good.
must be rough for Nick if he's on top of a building. I guess I would assume they would have like lifts and stuff.
Yeah. Also, I suppose just as a friendly note for anybody trying to message me on Discord during session, I have like my group's chat open, and I am not very quick to respond while I'm in stream, unless it's an absolute emergency. So, all right. Other than that, with you guys, I will be. Some of you guys may be starting off with Segataris, but we will be starting off in meat space to begin with. But I figured, while we're at it, have you guys created your elves yet? I figured why not do that while here on stream.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I've done
Let's
mine, yeah.
build an elf.
All right. So, I figure, yeah, that'd be a nice little learning experience, including for chat. I had shared with you guys here in the group chat. I'm trying to remember if I pinned it or not. If I did not pin it, I will tackle that real quick. see, where did I put it? Where did I put it? Where did I put it?
I think you put it in the couch.
Yep, I did it. Yep, and pin. All right, so in the pins for character ideas and sheets, I have a copy of the Elflines Online sheet. If you grab that, we will go ahead and walk through creating a character together. Figure do something a little fun on our session 0 before we break off for the day. I hope you guys are excited for this as I am. I am like absolutely over the frickin' moon.
I am very excited. Yeah.
Can't wait.
So
I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
well,
Great movie.
You're a dude playing a dude playing a dude.
Yes.
Dude.
Totally how it works.
Okay, so you crack open. Go ahead and make a copy of that ELO character sheet and throw it into your drive. We will be using meat dice for this one. Okay. Just a reference, I refer to IRL dice as meat dice just because Elflines Online does not have an actual sheet in Cyberpunk Reds on like any VTTs yet, which I hope that becomes a thing one day. I'm not good at doing things like that, or else I would have done it myself.
Oh,
I was gonna say, don't worry,
damn
we're
it.
not a bunch of Jeffrey
Some of us
Dahmers
are.
here.
So, what you're going to be doing when you create an Elflines character, it works as if you're making a complete package character. And instead of a minimum 2 in each stat needs a minimum of 3, but it can be no greater than 8. But you have 50 points to allocate amongst your different stats. Elves don't have luck. Since this is not you the person, this is just you in a series of numbers as a character.
That does bring up a question, Diamond.
What's up?
Would we be able to use our character's luck in
Yes, you can. You can use your character's luck in ELO, but your elf themselves do not have luck. And I will go grab the Elflines Online handbook to help you guys out with gear. And you guys do also have a starting spending gold of 200 gold. And you can also spend like one gold piece equals a penny, or no, that's not how it really transfers.
I think it was 1 eddy for 100 gold.
Yeah, 1 eddy
No,
for 100 gold.
Or was it 200 gold?
I think it's 100.
1 eddy for 100 gold. You could see how quickly this slips away from some people. Like, oh, what's a dollar? Oh, what's a dollar? Oh, what's a hey guys, I'm missing $50.
Where'd that money go?
We definitely haven't done that before in our lives, have we?
Oh, it's the microtransactions of the gaming world.
Yes, that is something.
Spent $8 on a costume. What the hell?
All right.
But it's Malibu States with a new hat. That's right, folks. There's gonna be a lot of Simpsons references in here, so get used to it.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
All right, guys.
True.
So we have every stat starts at 3, and then we have 50 points to spend, as long as we don't go over 8 in any of the stats. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and those initial 3 stats come off for that 50 as well, obviously.
Okay. I think I have a decent idea.
Okay. But yeah.
There's no like in-game drugs, right?
No,
There's healing
they're
herbs, that's it.
yeah. There's sacred herb, but the sacred herb's just like quick heal, is like a speed heal, and anybody can use it.
Okay.
That's right, Medtex. You aren't that special in ELO. Everybody can speed heal.
Well, I don't know if we're going to be rolling anything at the moment. We're only session 0.
All right.
But I can take drugs and then go into the game, right?
Well, who in their right mind wants to do this sober, right?
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Paul.
Also,
I'm ready, man.
also, Kev, you did an amazing job with the
Yeah.
overlays.
Kev,
Oh, that guy killed.
this looks amazing. I absolutely love it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm good on the stats. I'm gonna have a question about the skills real quick.
Sure. What's your question?
So it's 60 points for the skills, and then it said you start off with 4 in Elven. Does that count into that 60 total?
Let me go ahead and grab that book here.
Because that read a little weird to me.
All right, skills. Where are you at?
It would make sense that it does.
You
considering how the other
automatically
skills-
start off with Elven 4, so that will not count towards your 60.
Okay,
Oh,
perfect.
Okay. That means I've got 4 more points. And
Yep, that's what I want to make sure of. Is all right. Do I need to shave something, or am I good? So, then I'm all set.
All right. What other things do we have here? Oh, okay. You know, I really should have maybe put maybe a window capture to show everyone else the sheet. But if you get the Elflines PDF, for those of you who are in the audience watching, it will be located at the end of the book. But for you guys here, when you're assigning your skills, no greater than 6 for any skills to begin with, as you will gain level ups that will give you guys more skill points throughout the game. You guys will be starting at rank 0 for Elflines.
yep.
40.
And then once everybody's ready for gear, I will kind of help you guys through that also. And also, for those of you guys who are watching, the skill list for Elflines or Elflines Online is really watered down into, or like condensed down into a bunch of smaller groupings. So you have athletics and contortionists together. You have basic tech and weapons tech together. You have stealth and then tracking and wilderness survival as their own skills. You have first aid, paramedic, and surgery. All those are together. But that is a difficult skill. Evasion and dance is considered a difficult skill in Elflines Online. You have composition and education together in a grouping. Conceal and reveal object, or, well, still conceal and reveal object. Melee weapon is considered a difficult skill, and I assume archery is also considered a difficult skill. So it'll be 2 points to get 1 rank in that skill.
Oh. Oh, I did this wrong then.
So I think I also put the PDFs for Elflines Online in the chats. If not, let me go grab it. Just so that way I make sure we have everything. Oh, yep, I did. I put it in the questions for GM chat. I'll put it in the pins. So boom.
I think I asked you this before, Diamond, but are we okay to spend some of our starting cash on elf equipment?
Yes. You're winking at me. But yes, if you want to use some of your starting cash to buy a few extra things, I'm okay with it. Just don't go trying to buy endgame gear, because that ain't. I understand pay to win is a thing in these games, but no.
So how much for a black bow?
No. By the way, you can you have to complete certain quests to get the chance to have a 5% chance of a certain epic piece of loot dropping. How about them apples?
Oh wow,
I do
5%,
want
that's
to
not
get-
bad.
I do want to get the.
it's pretty
the
good
rep-
RNG,
the rep-
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to get the replica black bow at some point.
But 5% on a D1? I guess it's too high. What do we want? Set that to 2%? Is that what we want? For like epic loot drops. I will. It's okay.
Let's just hope we don't have any ninja looters.
What, people that come in last
Going to
minute,
sell.
take the loot and run?
And just take all the loot and run, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Tales old as time.
But
I have heard-
yeah,
What's our starting gold pieces again?
you will have 200 gold pieces. Now the armor does translate over, like all the weapons do translate over into Cyberpunk Red stats, such as leather armor has 4 SP because leather armor, well, is leathers. Studded leather armor is Kevlar with 7 SP. Chainmail is medium armor jack, which you will take the move penalty for. Also, with actually, I think that's still how it applies with armor.
Mhm.
Let me just take
The
a
studded
good
leather,
hard
right?
squint. Yep. And then finally, flak is full plate armor in this game.
Not Metal Gear. TM.
A weapon surpass Metal Gear.
An actual Metal Gear.
Memes of the DNA of the soul.
Dude,
So-
that's a good Cyberpunk campaign right there.
Oh yeah. Stopping one of the military corporations from starting a 5th war.
Controlling all the mercs.
Oh,
Some good stuff.
We have for weapons, your dagger is your light melee weapon. Your short sword is a medium melee weapon. Your long sword, it's rate of fire 1 unless you're dual wielding. So that means you gotta spend 200 gold to have 2 long swords. Is a heavy melee weapon. And then great axe, which is always two-handed, is 500 gold pieces. Now, if a certain tech of yours decides to modify their gear, or if someone decides to hack into the game to try to fix that, I mean, be my guest. Let's see how long until Segatari bans you. Shields are bulletproof shields. They have 10 HP, which, not gonna lie, I've always been a little disappointed by the shield, the bulletproof shield. Always have been.
So I got a question about
What's
that.
up?
So I know in Red, if you're running around with a shield, it's 10 HP or whatever it is, and then it's broken and it's gone, correct?
Yes.
Correct, yeah.
So that's how is that how it is in the LO as well?
Yes.
Okay.
But you can't fix your gear. What's up? What's your question? I got you.
That I just thought that was a good question.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
All
and
right.
then part of that is, can you re-equip things in combat?
As in how so?
Break a
Like,
shield. Go ahead and on my next turn, I put a new shield on.
yes.
Okay.
You guys literally are walking around with inventory like a bag of holding in a sense. Is the way I imagine it.
So Jack, how many shields are you going to be buying?
Oh, I'll have a few.
Stuck on shields.
That's where that first bit of the buying cash is going into. Just gonna have just a whole bunch of them.
Just go full Captain America on it. Like, yeah.
But each shield does
I mean,
cost 100 gold pieces, and you only have 200 gold pieces.
Exactly.
I mean, that's only $1. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a steal.
Man.
500 shields later.
I might spend the 5 eddies to get that great axe right off the bat.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, I put a couple of eddies into my gear to get some stuff.
I think so. A sword would be an eddy. Essentially, is what you're telling me here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna buy a sword. I'm also gonna do the same. I'm spending an eddy.
Oh no. You've already got the players seeing things.
I'm spending the eddy. It started. The microtransactions have begun.
What's just a few eddies? What's a few eddies between friends? Come on. Come on.
I'm broke.
What?
How much I had left?
Have you spent all your money already?
No, I think I actually, I think I have like, I got like, what is it? I would have like 50 gold left.
Oh gosh.
I've got like 520 eddies left just in case.
Oh, eddies? Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty broke, dude.
Yeah, I only got 50 eddies myself, so I'm like, oh, wait.
It's like I might only,
Oh, geez.
like actual eddies. I have 50 eddies, but I got a housing unit in my ground car that's littered with kibble bags. All right.
By the way, speaking of kibble, if you go out of your way to buy Continental Brands ELO Sacred Herb flavored kibble, there might be a code at the bottom of the bag, as long as it hasn't been destroyed by all the grease.
Oh,
And you
dear.
might be able to get some good stuff, like
Challenge accepted.
like maybe like a special like coloring for your for your weapon or stuff like that. Like it's absolutely useless, but people will pay you like 50 eddies for the code. Yes, you can sell in-game stuff for real money. There is a market for that. Any other let's see, any other things? We have arrows, which cost 1 gold pieces each. Every poison arrow costs 10 gold pieces each. Yeah. Yikes. A vial of poison costs 100 gold pieces. And the sacred herbs, which is speed heal, is 50 gold pieces each. For 1 bundle of sacred herb.
Oh, scratch that. I don't have 50 eddies left. I have 49. Gotta remember.
Oh, goodness.
Gonna bleed me dry.
I am going to bleed you all dry. Oh, dear. Of course, there's all sorts of other great stuff, I guess, if you want to buy, like, an in-game home. I mean...
What about loot crates?
Loot crate.
God, don't bring in loot crates.
Do you want to
No.
give the GM ideas? Because I will gladly take some ideas.
Oh, well, this is collaborative storytelling at the finest, right?
Plenty of examples out there, so.
Oh, geez.
All right.
In-game cash shop for exclusive items, exclusive cosmetics and stuff.
Well, I don't know why you're not being sponsored by somebody there, Sasha. You know, got your unrollable keyboard that changes different colors. You got your professional gaming chair.
Well, I mean,
I don't know why the Eddies aren't rolling in just yet.
I mean, we don't need a keyboard. It's all a brain dance type thing.
Yeah.
But she
Yeah.
does have a camera in her eye, so she can record
Oh,
her
so
first person view.
Definitely not going to get you stocked.
No.
not even in the sky.
Roll your daily login gotcha to collect all the rare oh no tape.
Can you
All right.
record? Can you make a brain dance of a session of ELO?
Yes.
Yeah, they've got a show according to
was-
the in-game lore of it, but you can. I think there's a cyberware option for you to.
Just get a recorder.
You can get a brain dance
Bra-
recorder, but
brain
so you'd be
dance
putting
recorder,
on,
and-
you'd almost be experiencing. It's almost like a brain dance itself,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like a fully immersive thing.
How much is a brain dance
was-
recorder? I might buy that actually.
I think it's
It's a lot of
bad.
money. Like 500 eddies.
Yeah, I have one.
If it's 500, I
Join.
can afford it.
I can hook you up.
Do
You should,
you want to
sell
spend
out.
500 eddies? Is my question.
I mean, that will leave me with 20 Eddie.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Do you have a Neuralink already?
Or well,
Is it the neural link for it? Is it?
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
So you got to do both of them.
Guys.
All right. Actually, I suppose as one last note going around the table, like notable pieces of cyberware. Like Nick's got their cyber chair. What about the rest of you guys? What are some notable pieces of cyberware? Like Jim, do you have anything for when you're working cold cases?
Well, Tequila's a cop, so he got some subdermal lacing done. Not the high quality, super good stuff, like the regular basic one. So even if he's wearing body armor, he could take one more direct hit. I think the rules say it ablates even with the highest stopping power item being worn.
Yeah,
So-
if you've got armor and your in skin stuff, it ablates both.
Yeah, so I mean, he uses that when he doesn't have to go, like he ever kicks down doors ever again. But he's also got a cyber eye, and he's also packing Sand Vestin, so he gets to live out his little Hong Kong shoot 'em up
Speedwear.
adventures. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going full John Woo.
Yes.
Okay.
that was my inspiration from Tequila.
I love it.
Hard boiled.
Love it. Kiwi.
Stand up and help him with initiative and ELO.
Kiwi, what kind of cyberware you got on you?
That I have my cyber arm, you know, for when I'm protecting people, fighting people, and I got the monofilament in it to use. I think the other main one I have is I have the toxic binders to help, you know. The gang doesn't want me to, you know, give in to any torture, so they help me get that as part of being part of the gang.
Well, especially
yeah, those are the main
because,
ones.
well, especially with some of the recent things that Hornet has cooked up recently. Ooh, I like. Nick, any other notable pieces of cyberware with your characters?
No, not yet. Anyway, they're not very cybered up at this moment, but they've got a pretty good cyber deck for net running. So I really put my money into my cyber deck.
Sweet. Did you crack open Midnight with the upload?
Yeah.
Okay.
You mean the story? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you taking advantage of some of that stuff, and it just maybe I'll improve with some cyberware in the future. But I just wanted to save a few eddies for my for a few other things, and wanted to keep my empathy high, keep my humanity up, and keep my empathy high, because I do plan on using those skills quite a bit.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Overrated.
Jack, what kind of notable cyberware do you have going?
So I got a few things, just a couple.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Let's see. I got the Neuralink with a chipware socket, so I might throw a few other things in there later. I've got one Cyber Eye with the micro optics because I got to be able to see my wiring when I'm tinkering with electronics. I got Cyber Ears. I got that suite mainly because I have an internal agent. Along with the radio scanner and a descrambler. I have a hidden holster for my pistol, and this is going to be the fun one. On the back of my left hand, because you can do it on a meat hand, I have the hollow projector palm. So it's
cool.
little hologram things could pop up. That way, one of the things I want to do is, so agents have AIs, so I'm going to have Cortana coming out of my hand.
Oh, that is
cool
awesome.
idea.
Well, like Halo Cortana?
Yes, Halo Cortana, or like if we're planning out a run, I go, hey, hang on a second. Boom, I'm now displaying the map like R2-D2 would. And go, all right, now we can actually play.
That's just fashion wear, right?
That is actually a hand augmentation.
Oh,
It's not fashion wear.
Oh,
But you can put it as the only one in a meat hand.
Uh-huh.
And
interesting.
that's from one of the DLCs as well.
That's from Must-Have Cyberware Deals
Yes.
with William Mays. Or William Mays.
William A. Mays here with another fantastic product.
All right,
There
Sean,
has to be a better way.
any notable cyberware with your character?
I mean, I rock the usual Nomad setup with Neuralink and some interface plugs, but other than that, the first thing you notice is his light tattoos. He's got a few of them, and he's proud of them. I rolled him up as Western European, and I went with Irish. He knows a useless language to know in Night City with Gaelic.
Not the first
And,
player that I had that knows Gaelic.
Yeah, so you see, it's not the most useful language here in the city, but he speaks it with his family, But you can notice the if you knew the language, you would understand the tattoos that are on, some parts of his body. There's like constantly moving like knots, moving up and down his shoulders and stuff. So like, he tries to keep it flashy. He needs to get that third tattoo though. I'm saving up for another tat, and I don't know what it's going to be yet. It's knowing how he's like a little angrier. He's a young adult. He's probably going to get something.
No
Lewd.
kill counter.
Dude, I was thinking about going with the kill counter after I get them 3 light tattoos.
Well, if you get the kill counter, it does count as a light tattoo, actually.
Oh, well, then I think you just chose my third tattoo.
Did I just sell you something?
I think you just sold it to me, dude. It's dream ads they're projecting into our brains at night.
Oh, I forgot to mention, my character does have Neuralink and interface plugs, which is like you need to have to be a netrunner.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm sorry, I meant no other additional DLC to that. He is a netrunner, and he does have the neural face and interface plugs. I just kind of blanked on that. So, yeah.
But it is good to see that we are representing a lot of the DLCs in here alongside ELO, because like I want to dig into all this other stuff. Plus, I saw the drone in the new book, and I it's just like I want.
We're going to be talking about that. Yeah, I've actually got a fun little idea about that. Medical Overwatch.
Yeah, dude, actually, I love that new Hornet.
You in the new Black Chrome.
You would need a med tech that would know how to do that, wouldn't? Really?
It's a drone injector in the drone. You set it to watch everybody's biomonitor. If it pings the same way that the regular auto injector would, the drone will go over there and shoot them up. At least that's the
That's
thought.
thinking like a tech, dude.
That's thinking like a tech.
Well, ain't that exciting?
Yeah.
Pending, of course, but that's a thought.
It'd be an expensive
then-
med tech.
Sasha,
Yeah.
What's your,
for Cyber, she has 2 cyber eyes. In her left cyber eye is her micro video. So that's how she records her streams. She has in her right eye, she has a Chiron for viewing stream chat and targeting optic. She has the tech hair and chem skin combo. And she does have 3 light tattoos. 2 of them are arm sleeves, and 1 is not normally on display.
Is
You
there
gotta
a
pay for the season pass.
Oh,
yeah? Is there a thing about 3 tattoos? Because
if you get 3 light tattoos, you get a +2 to wardrobe and style. I think, right?
okay.
style over substance,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah,
And that's
plus
absolutely
2, and
good.
your agent bonus too if you use your agent.
and the
Yeah.
tech
Oh, that's right.
and the tech hair and chem skin gives you +2 to personal grooming.
That's right. Oh, I do have the chem skin and the tech hair too. So you know, he doesn't get too flashy with his hair, but
I would like to let you know that I don't know if you guys have read Stink Palm 007's book Medicine in the Red. I will be using Stink Palm has some great examples of ways that fashion wear can be adjusted by the person themselves. Like you can change like the colors of your tattoos, switch them off. You can even adjust your tech hair, like how long it is, what color it is. I will be using those kinds
I think
of
that's what tech hair can do normally.
yeah. It's
will
just
you link that in the chat?
I will find it and I will actually throw it into questions for GM. So that way it's there. But Stink Palm 007 did a fantastic job with Medicine in the Red. I will be incorporating that, like some of the other Cybernation stuff, into here.
I assume we're
And-
using your apps for you.
Yes, if you guys want to use any of the apps from my homebrew book, you are welcome to do so. I mean, heck, with you guys being gamers, you might cyberdyne something over to your front door.
Just one last piece of thing she has.
What's
She
up?
also has nasal filters.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna be pretty immune to any toxins in the air.
Yep.
All right. So
I am afraid I forgot to say something if I didn't say anything.
what's up?
He also has a cyber eye in his right eye, which helps him aim. So
Okay.
other than that, that's the list of his cyberware. So I forgot to mention that.
But yeah, I will be happy to, and if you guys want to purchase anything from those books, please just let me know what I'm looking at. That way you guys aren't, buying like a basilisk under my nose or something. That's the last thing I need is you guys rolling through town in a tank because, I'm pretty sure the corporations would be totally fine with that. I don't know what could possibly go wrong.
Just driving around with an Arasaka nauseator.
I
No.
should also mention, I do use 2 guns from the 12 Days of Gunmas.
What guns?
I have the Nomad pneumatic rifle thing that fires arrows,
Oh, nice.
and I also have a Teen Dream.
Now that
Back up.
rifle does extra damage to armor, right? Anything that shoots the flechettes, or is
No,
that?
It's not the flechette launcher that I'm using.
Oh,
Yeah,
It
Flechette,
is-
just that's a brutal gun.
those things are cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
and
next project.
I'm using the Nomad pneumatic bolt gun. There we go. That's what it's called.
Kitty.
It is a sniper rifle that fires arrows instead of bullets.
Is it quiet?
I would assume so, since it's
Yeah.
It's
an air weapon
air-powered,
rather
so-
than yeah.
It won't
It's
be
almost
as
like a
loud.
super crossbow.
Yeah, they're basically a cross between a crossbow and an air cannon.
That's pretty cool.
All right.
You have sleeper arrows for.
And the
Ooh.
Teen Dream is basically your 20-head pistol that can technically auto-fire, but if you do, it melts.
Yeah. That one really useful suppressive fire moment.
Yep.
All right. Do you guys have questions for me? I like chat. Also, chat. This is the perfect time for you guys. Please ask questions. I am happy to answer questions.
I guess I have one question. Are
What's up?
we new ELO players, or have we played the game before? You kind of mentioned that our first mission is going to be to get the hardware to play. I kind of assumed that we were already going to be established players that maybe needed to start new characters to qualify for this contest or whatever. But what's the deal with that?
So, Segatari has just dropped the Rush Revolution. So it's the newest console.
Okay.
Sirenscape, excuse. Okay. I just kind of got like weird noise coming from Sirenscape. It's like, excuse me. So, the Segatari Rush Revolution has just dropped, and like this is, and they want you guys to use new characters to go for this new prize. So everyone has a fair starting. Everyone starts at the same starting line. It's how soon you get off the starting line that matters.
Okay.
They won't drop this dungeon for at least a month's time. There's like this. If you go to Segatari's website, there's this big countdown timer that's a whole month. So you have a whole month to complete the Elflines campaign, defeat the Warlock, and then go take on this dungeon. So
Cool. No, I love that. I like that. I like that a lot. Good.
And you know, if you're the first ones to complete it, you all got yourselves a nice studio apartment for 6 months.
Now, will there be a way to track who might be winning in case we want to, sabotage them or something?
You might need to go into ELOs. You might need to go into the databases in ELO to find out that information.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
This is gonna be
Or
the
you can
Vault of
edit
Glass
things.
all over again.
Now here's the
Don't
other
give me
question.
nightmares like that.
Here's another question then.
What's up?
Do we all know each other at this point, at least in the ELO?
Yes.
That's what I was
yes.
gonna- that was a good
I would
question.
say you guys are part of like the same elf line, but you aren't quite the same raiding party yet. This is kind of you guys starting to come together as a raiding party. So you know each other a little bit, probably by your gamer tags, and you guys probably gonna look a lot different than you do in your characters.
Yeah, just a bit.
How is that going to work with people who haven't yet played Elflines in the game?
Well, it's gonna be like the one out of touch person rolling in there, trying to pour tequila. I feel so bad for tequila. Oh dear.
Well,
Oh.
I mean, my
Bedlam's
character,
in the same position too.
yeah, my
Oh,
character
Bedlam.
hasn't played it either, so
Oh gosh, you're a bunch of noobs trying to win
Yeah.
the biggest prize against there's some really sweaty people out there.
Yeah,
Who
that's
will
what, this is
do-
what I'm thinking. Sabotage might need to be a little necessary.
Maybe
here,
some
you know?
maybe some offline PK.
Yeah, it's,
It's gonna happen.
yeah.
Maybe the real raid is the friends we made along the way.
The real friends we made along the way.
Also,
If I don't get that housing for Valerie Keene, I'm gonna lose it. All right, she's gotta move up.
you got to turn your output into your main line, do you?
Oh no, did I screw this up?
Oh, so I was talking about the little hologram for my Cortana.
yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna be copying the ELO costume that my avatar would be making to be that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say you would show off your ELO character on your hand.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought you were gonna look
Yeah.
like Master Chief in ELO.
I would be a little more open to doing the like the actual card game if we if it wasn't as much of a beefy thing. But if some of you guys are into the card game, I might just resolve it down to some gambling checks if that's acceptable. If-
I invested in gambling, and I'm glad it's an idea.
So, you can
we-
win some money with some extra scratch or even some prize cards with that. And
We
I'll
did-
just...
we-
what's up?
Sorry, we did have a question in chat from Gaster.
What's up?
Are there any iconic weapons in ELO?
Yes, there are a few. There's a really powerful shield that comes from a golem in one of the dungeons. There is the Scarlet Black Bow, is the most iconic weapon of ELO, but during that raid, only one drops, and you guys gotta figure out who gets it. Let's see if you guys stick together.
I'm rolling need for everything because I don't know what I need.
What are you, a hunter?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Yeah.
You did not. Oh god.
Oh come
Well,
on!
everyone knows everything's
Ruthless.
hunter gear.
oh.
Ruthless.
That's a World of Warcraft joke.
Oh yeah.
You guys are good. If you guys crack jokes, if you guys are able to get like a World of Warcraft joke or a Final Fantasy joke that whiffs over my head, I may or may not consider dropping an extra piece of IP in. If you're able to get the chat rolling, and I don't know why chat is laughing. Greed over need every time. Oh boy.
We've been looking for a healer for like 4 hours. You know?
Hey chat. Oh god.
Alex references that go over everyone's head.
We just have to talk in general chat for about 5 hours.
Well, everywhere Bobby Barron goes, it's Barron's chat, dude.
What?
Oh, I suppose
Burns chat.
one other little wrench I'm throwing in here because of this dungeon. There's a plague rampaging through the servers.
Oh boy!
Okay.
Not just something else besides the miasma plague, right?
The
Oh,
blood
there
plague?
is the miasma. But on top of the miasma, which the miasma is just a PvP area, it's like that's always been there.
Yeah.
That is anywhere outside a safe zone, you are in the miasma. This little plague is going to be something that has to do with this upcoming dungeon. So, do with that information what you will, players.
Oh.
I
Maybe the CDC can watch it and figure out how plague spread like the real deal that one time. Wow.
Yeah, there was a thing like,
Yeah, they actually
Real.
studied the transmission rates of how that worked in game.
and then
I just-
trolls propagated it.
also
I just want to know if we're gonna have like Mohawk grenades.
Oh, I miss those.
Also,
I miss those so
on top
much.
of that, make sure your pets aren't infected.
Oh,
Make sure your pets are spayed neutered.
No. You know, just so you don't
Message from
accidentally
yesterday
spread
to Bob
plagues.
Barker.
Um,
Spies carry diseases. such
There
as
is a person in the
yours.
party. Somebody does have a cat, right?
there's like 2 cats. Well, 3 if we
Wait,
include Sasha.
IRL or in the game?
I think in the game. Yeah, I have my cat here. He's my world.
Rare in Night City, or are they gone yet?
My
Have they
cat,
moved-
my wife.
I don't know.
You
It's
will-
rare. They're rare.
the most-
super rare.
The most often you will encounter animals is like they're probably gonna be vicious as hell, especially in the
either
hot
that or they're,
zone.
like-
There are wild
Yeah.
dogs that run through the hot zone. Well, basically
Just try
doing the
some-
vultures' jobs because, as we all know, in the time of the red, birds aren't real.
Yeah, birds are gone.
Yeah.
Like if you see somebody that has a pet animal, there's a good chance it's a clone or it's robotic, you know.
Or they just have a lot of money,
Yeah.
which means
Yeah.
that could be translated into a lot of gold.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's
Mm.
be just like Blade Runner, you know, selling,
What?
buying snakes from the Egyptian over there.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude,
no.
Solid.
Oh no.
Well,
Yeah, that's not a club, Sasha. That's a spade, sweetie.
oh.
the club
Well,
the
don't
club is the
Don't
clover.
spade your dog either.
Who's clubbing dogs?
Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. I think it was just an error on the keyboard. Oh, it popped my bones. We
Love
don't.
your
Oh my
dog.
gosh, we don't
We
have.
went over this in lines and veils.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you guys don't have a hydrate button.
Oh, heresy!
No hydrate.
Heresy!
No hydrate button. That's good for me. My other chat spams me with hydrate. And also, by the way, to those of you who came over from my community to come watch this, please make sure you follow Cybernation Uncensored. These guys have all sorts of great games. We got Fallout, we got Star Trek, we got Cyberpunk Red, we got what other games do we got going on right
I saw
now?
they were testing the Blade Runner game.
Oh
Somebody's
yeah, that's
playing that one.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
helped
Blade
Kickstarter
Runner.
that one.
Like, what?
Yeah, somebody's doing the Blade Runner one right now. What else?
Alien?
Was there Mutants Masterminds or something?
There's Dune, Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, yay.
Which, by the way,
Dude.
like, if you guys aren't following the channel, what are you doing? Because, like, this place is great. Like, I've jumped in, and I have absolutely loved it here so far at Cybernation Uncensored. Very well. The community is very welcoming of new players, and from what I've seen so far, like, everyone from all walks of life are welcome here. And also on top of that, like, there's a bunch of great campaigns going on. Rob runs a couple of great games. Raven is running one that involves the High Rider Federation, which Kiwi, you're in the High Riders, correct? Which I tune into that every
I've
Friday
watched
night
a
at
few of
work.
those, yeah. That's one of the ones I like more too.
Yeah.
That one's a good one.
But that one's
Even-
been fun to do.
In
That one looks cool. I've always liked the High Rider stuff, and they have some great videos on rule breakdowns too. I've watched a few rule breakdown videos, combat breakdown videos from Rob Mulligan. He does a good job.
Yeah.
There you go. We got some highlight hydrations, Diamond.
No. No. It returns. But Axel says hello. Axel is great. But yeah, there are a bunch of great shows that go on over here at Cybernation Uncensored. I could not recommend them enough for anybody that kind of wants to get a taste of different games. It's like I had played the Fallout 2D20 at one point with a few friends, but I just wanted to see more, see how other people play. And the Pacific Northwest campaign, I am looking forward to tuning into that one. I got to get caught up on that one. All right, so it is 11:44. I suppose I suppose I've kept you guys here long enough. If we want to wrap up for now, that way we can kind of get things ready and rolling for next week. How's that sound?
I'm looking forward to it.
I will
Sounds
try
good to me.
I will try to work out the tech issues in regards to the choppy camera feeds. I just did this that way everybody's individual camera feeds wouldn't impact everyone else.
Yeah.
We will. I got a feeling it may also just be some net traffic going on. We'll get it worked out.
I'm kind of new to this streaming stuff too. if I could
Yeah,
figure some new stuff out.
it can also depend on some hardware. It'll be okay. We'll get this fixed.
Just let me know if you need me for anything. Like at any time. You can just reach out.
Greatly appreciated. So we're gonna go around the table. We're gonna quick talk. Where you can find everyone here. Talk about where to find all of us and like what we do on our offsides. So we'll start with Jack and work our way around the table.
I'm right here. Again, find me on Twitter, GeekGumbo1. Again, check out A Fistful of Carbon.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay. That's not quite the command I was looking for. Okay.
No, I don't know.
Oh, yep. There we go. There's the socials for Cybernation Uncensored. Sean, let's hear from you.
I might occasionally chime in on the Cyberpunk subreddits and the occasional battle map subreddits as Hunar the Barbarian. Other than that, I just toss mail at the USPS. That's about all I do outside of this game. Yeah.
Where are my meds?
I run my own. I run my own games on Mondays. I don't stream them. They do get kind of raunchy. But I've loved Cyberpunk games for forever, and excited to be a player. Excited for this opportunity. And Bobby Barron's going to skateboard into everybody's hearts.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're using spinning your wheels. That one's also getting accounted for.
I need to invest in melee weapons more so I can just truck fuck some people. Right, right out of here.
You gotta say something cool when you hit somebody, like surf up.
Oh, naturally, I'm a nomad. That's the way we do things, It's like
I'm on a roll.
So, do you also have a vehicle alongside your skateboard because the skateboard doesn't count as your vehicle?
I got to sketch on something, dude.
Skateboard is like the key to get into the car, so he breaks the window with the skateboard.
Now I'm just imagining a skateboard with a housing unit on it.
Now you're thinking.
Oh, gleaning the cube. All right, Sasha, let's hear from you.
Hi there, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/NekoCutieSasha. And you can also find me on Twitter at NekoCutieSasha. I'm still trying to work on getting schedule for Twitch, but you'll see me on every Tuesday night at least.
Alright, Jim, let's hear from you.
You can find me on Twitter at Sierra92507. I do lurk on Reddit, and I do kind of sit around and talk with people in the Fallout 2D20 subreddit. I kind of just keep waxing and waning about the Fallout Texas game I wanted to run, but I only got through like 2 parts of it. I'm on some old episodes at Time the Tabletop on YouTube, and if you are in like the Northern California area and near the capital city, Time the Tabletop does a lot of events at some of the local breweries, so you can have a pint and play a game and have a good time. And they do some other charitable work, like they pull up the Chair Foundation. So please check them out. They're like some of the greatest people I've met since I moved up to Northern California so many years ago. And we'll do it live. Yeah.
Fuck it, we'll do it live, dude.
What?
That's gonna come up a lot.
And to play us out. What do you mean to play us out?
Hold on.
Yeah.
No.
You're in Lincoln. Wait a minute.
No, I'm not in Lincoln.
No, from Kev, it's like Lincoln. Oh, hey. Kiwi, let's hear from you.
Kiwi Waste. I'm on Discord as Kiwi Waste, and I'm on Twitter as Waste Kiwi. And you can also find me Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time with the Cybernation Uncensored High Riders campaign, so you can come watch me there too.
Cool.
All right.
Oh, so I'm
yeah,
Nick.
Nick.
I don't really have a ton of socials. I guess you can find me on Discord at N Zendrowski, which is my last name, ZENDROWSKI. My number is 9127. You can also find me under N Zendrowski on Reddit and on Twitter. So that's just N Zendrowski, ZENDROWSKI.
All right. And I'm Diamond Dust. I am a VTuber for the Moonlighters group, but I am over here with Cybernation Uncensored as a GM. I also run my game on Wednesday nights over at my channel, which is Diamond_Dust_320. And also you can catch me on Twitter at 320Dust. Let's see, what other important notes are there? I also do a lot of Cyberpunk Red homebrew over on my channel. So if you ever just want to come sit with me while I'm writing, please feel free to pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy some time with me over there. However, I will be over here every Thursday morning or afternoon for those of you guys over in Europe, or evening for those of you all the way over there on the other side of the world. I will be over here every Thursday morning, and I'll be over actually, wait, are we moving to Stink Palm 007? If I remember correctly, the schedule changed for Eddie's for I Know You Are Twits next week, right? I'm also with the group I Know You Are Twit. That's Stink Palm 007's mini series. And hopefully I'll catch you guys there too.
That's a good game. Definitely check that out.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, I guess other than that, later tonight, if I remember correctly, there is a game later tonight. Let me go pull up the announcements page here. I'm working on trying to remember things. I'm working on it. Let me find, let's see, anything else? Doesn't look like it. All right. Oh, okay, so there's a game at 4 p.m. Pacific time tonight. Okay, all right. Sirenscape with Rob, okay. And then 6 p.m. Pacific time, there'll be another game. Okay, wow, okay, Thursday is a busy day, all right. So I guess I'm just kicking off your day with Cyberpunk already. Nice. So, I guess other than that, trying to think, and then tomorrow we have the High Riders back at it again. I'm excited to see how they are going to get through the next session. I got to get caught up. Actually, Kiwi, I think you'd be better for this. Like, where'd you guys leave off in High Riders?
I'm trying to think. Wait, where did we leave off? Probably remember that. I think we just. Oh, right. We were at the Neon Church.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Potentially start a fight at the Neon Church.
Okay, I know you guys were about to fight someone. I just couldn't quite remember off the top of my head what was the name of the group. So I'm super excited for tomorrow. And yeah, other than that, please feel free to keep tuning in. It's going to be a busy day today. On that note, I'm Diamond Dust. Welcome to Eddie's and Elflines. And make sure you grab your drinks and your chips, because it's going to be a long session. With that, guys, I'll see you next week. Bye.
And to play us out, Sting. Have a good time, everybody. Thank you all for showing up.
Speculation unnecessary.